Y'all so extra, but that's glad to see mom in the back, dad in the front, dad right here. Glad to see y'all. Glad to see everybody that came out today. Thank y'all for coming and supporting me. First all right, I have 3 verses for y'all. Yo, first verse you want to go to is going to be front to back. We're going to go Isaiah 41:10. Put your program in that spot. All right. We have to say amen.
Isaiah 41:10.
And if you need a little bit more time, you can wait. Isaiah 41:10.
Amen.
Amen. All right, then the next 2 verses are both going to come out of Joshua, the 1st chapter. The first verse is going to be Joshua 1:5, and then 4 verses down is going to be Joshua 1:9. Amen. All right, Joshua 1:5 reads, No man will be able to stand before you. Oh, please stand. Sorry. Amen. Joshua 1:5 reads, No man will be able to stand before you all the days of your life. Just as I have been with Moses, I will be with you. I will not fail you or forsake you. Now 4 verses down to Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not tremble or be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Now go back to Isaiah 41:10. This is the last verse. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not anxiously look about you, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, surely I will help you. Surely I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Dear Lord, thank you for giving me this great opportunity, Lord. Thank you for just blessing me all my life, Lord. Please just let you speak and let my mouth be for you. Let you speak and let the people see you and not me. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
So Joshua God had told Joshua that he was going to be the leader before Moses was dead. He was basically the next in line. He was basically going to lead them into the land of milk and honey, because Moses had struck the rock instead of talking to the rock for water, and God told him, since he was being disobedient, you're not going to lead my people into the promised land. Joshua was. So Joshua was like the second man command. He had to come in and just step right on the scene. God is telling him to be strong and courageous, because it's going to take he has to be strong. It's going to take a lot of courage for him to lead a whole entire nation. The Israelites, it was every single one of the Israelites that had made it out of the wilderness. It was that whole entire nation. So it's kind of hard for a man that did so much for them for that 40 years in the wilderness, for him to just step in and lead the whole entire people. It's like one person just leading. It's like the president. Him leading almost everybody in America. So God is telling Joshua to be courageous, and he's also telling them not to fear. Don't be afraid.
Right.
As we all know, fear doesn't come from God.
No.
The spirit of fear is not from God.
Hallelujah.
God does not want us to fear. The only thing we're supposed to fear is Him. We're supposed to fear Him. But it's not a scary fear. It's not like oh, I'm scared of you fear. It's a fear of respect that you don't want to disappoint Him. It's that type of fear. The fear that he's talking about is from the enemy. Satan is from Satan. Satan wants us to fear, so we become discouraged, distressed, anxious. He wants us to just break down mentally. He just wants us to be afraid. God is also telling us that He is with us always.
Yes.
When the Jews were traveling in the 40 years in the wilderness, God was always with them, giving them food, feeding them, and letting them have protection. Another good example was when the Egyptians had the Israelites were in captivity. They were enslaved. and God had delivered them from the Egyptians. So God had a cloud that was guiding them by the day and a fire that was guiding them during the night. And God, when they were fleeing from the Egyptian army was chasing them that whole time. And they had to cross the Red Sea. So God allowed Moses to part the Red Sea. You know, he puts his arms up and the Red Sea comes. It separates. So they're going through it, and God is protecting them, letting them go through it. And the Egyptian army's behind them, chasing them. Now, when every Israelite is passed, God lets the water come down, and it kills thousands of the Egyptian army. Guys, that's another way of God's protecting us. God's protecting us the same way today through everything that we just do. You know, God is protecting us when, you know, your curfew, when you were a kid or you're still a kid, you know your curfew's at like 10 o'clock. Let's say it's 10 o'clock, right? And you come in 2 hours past your curfew, it's 12 o'clock, you know, nothing happened to you, you know, you're in perfect health. And that's just a blessing from God because anything could really happen. Another good example is when you're out with your friends or just anybody and a fight breaks out. Fights aren't like they used to be from back in the day till now. Back in the day, you know, it was fist fighting, and that's how you settled your problems. Like you had like a problem. Today, people are stabbing, shooting, killing people. It's not fair fighting. So you just gotta thank God that you were there and nothing happened to you.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you.
Thank you,
God
Jesus.
also says in Hebrews 13:5 that he will never leave us nor forsake us.
Yes. Thank you, Lord.
God is omnipresent. He's He's everywhere at the same time. So you know he's here, he's in Texas, he's in Cali, he's in Belgium, he's in France, he's in Russia, he's everywhere at the same time.
Yes.
You know? In the TV show Everybody Hates Chris, you know, everybody loves that. Almost everybody loves that show. There was an episode of where Chris, who grew up in Ben-Stein, New York, during that time, people were snatching gold chains. So a guy, the neighborhood criminal, goes up to the guy about to snatch his chain. And Chris is like, oh, wait, he's about to snatch the chain. He's about to snatch your chain. So the guy runs so he doesn't get his chain snatched. And the guy is telling Chris, oh, you owe me a gold chain since I didn't get to snatch his chain. He's like, what happens if I don't? What happens if I don't give you your gold chain? He says, well, while you're about to take a shower, I'll be there. When you're watching TV, I'll be there. Even in your dreams, I'll be there. He's trying to scare Chris. But God is actually really like that. God is always there. God is always there. You know, he's always there for us no matter what. Now, in Isaiah 41:10, I'm going to read it again. It says, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not anxiously look about you, for I am your God. I will strengthen you surely. I will help you. Surely I will uphold you with my righteous hand.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
Yes, he will.
Thank you, God.
God is telling us not to fear again.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
what are we fearing for? We have God by our side.
So
He's also telling us.
Thank you, Lord.
He is also telling us in time of distress and great stress that, like, what are we stressed for? He will uphold us. And it's like a pity uphold, like he will pat you on the back. You know, it's a God that he will bring you up.
Yes.
And again, when he says his right hand of righteousness,
yes,
he's just saying that he'll keep protecting you. You know?
yes, he will.
Like, there's really no reason to fear because think of having the biggest, tallest, strongest security guard in the world walking with you everywhere you go. You're not going to be fearful of anything because you know if somebody try to hurt you, he's going to hurt them. God is better than them. God is.
Yes,
God is the ultimate being. You know, he's the all-powerful, all-knowing.
Hallelujah.
He's just
Thank you, Lord.
the best thing that ever happened to us. You know, God is better than that big, strong security guard. He's better than anybody can ever protect you because he is the great I am. So
Yes.
there's really no reason for us to fear. And if we are fearing, that means we can't believe that God is always with us. Because how are we going to believe that God is always with us if we're always in fear? You know?
Amen.
So, and God is always with us, like, through times, like, hard times, like when you're at your most low. Like the poem, Footprints in the Sand, you know, there's two footprints. There's two sets of footprints. One's walking with him, you know, and there's footprints next to him. And then it says in the poem that we start to think that, oh, why is there one like set of footprints? You know, that's not like you weren't with me during those times. But he actually says during those times I was carrying you.
Hallelujah.
He was always there, even though you really don't think it is. Like, even if like you're in a really bad situation, he's still there.
Yes.
Even when you don't even know how your bill's gonna get paid, he's still there.
Yes.
Your child's value, he's not gonna let his child be out on the street, so he's always just gonna make a way.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
Even when you're down to like your last dollar, you just really like you have to go to work and you don't have any gas. God's gonna provide you a way for you to get to work.
Hallelujah.
There's really no reason for us to fear, like a fear of hurt, harm, or danger, whether it's fear of saving your marriage, fear of losing a loved one, fear of anything really, mentally fear. Like a lot of fear is mental. A lot of things that we think we're scared of, we really don't have to be scared because a lot of things is mental. Like when you're scared of something, it's mostly mental than physical. You know, it's you thinking that you're scared, but God doesn't want you to be scared because, like I said before, He's always with you.
Yes.
What brings me to the title of my sermon: we have no reason to fear.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah.